Hi, everyone. We have the amazing opportunity to come together as a global circle to celebrate the solstice. And we're greeting summer in the north and winter in the south. And I know all of you are tired of hearing me say how jealous I always am of everybody in the south because fall and winter are my favorite seasons, and I'd love to follow them around the world. But these are really powerful times when we can do really good shamanic work. And the solstices, they just don't mark a change, but they mark a change in a cycle. And I've been writing a lot about cycles on the Transmutation News because I really can see what's happening in my own body is that my body is no longer aligned with linear time. It's just something that I notice. But I notice cycles. I notice bird migrations at my house in a different way. I notice the trees changing in a different way. I notice the plants changing in a different way. And so I feel like because I have taken time out of everyday life and a lot of time off of Facebook and the internet, it kind of gives me the space to tune in more to how my body, it's not what the earth is doing during this time, it's how our bodies are one with the earth during this time. And I think that that's one place where we're missing out is that we constantly are walking against the river of life, which adds so much amazing amounts of stress to our body. And when we follow the flow of nature, and when we follow those cycles, it really helps us feel stronger. It helps us feel like we're in our power. It helps us feel like we're flowing with life instead of against life. And that has to do with honoring cycles. I think that the more that we can honor cycles and every decision that we make, is this going with the flow of the river of life, or is this going against the flow of the river of life? That's how I'm making all of my decisions now is I picture the river of life. Is this in the flow, going the right way? Am I trying to go against the river of life? And I change that decision. And actually, that brings me to why this video is not a video this month. We're going to be on audio. I was having some technological issues, and I decided to just go with the flow of the river of life. And so this month we're on audio, and that's where our flow is. And it's really interesting too because I recently had a meeting with a woman who does a lot of work in Hollywood, and she does a lot of work helping online companies promote their work and get their work out there. And in the midst of the conversation, and we were talking about the issue of Zoom exhaustion, she was saying that one of the things that they can now state statistically is when people look at people's faces, the shadow side of the Zoom videos that are going on is so much projection goes on when when you're looking at a person's face, where they actually did scientific experiments and they found that the people who listen to courses only through audio, who put on their headphones, go outside, sit in the park and listen, or lay down in bed and listen, that information actually reaches a very different part of the brain, and that the experiences go deeper for people when they listen through audio. So there's so much we have to learn about how we use our senses in a technological world. I think that we all have to agree on that one, because in a technological world, we're so two-dimensional. We don't have most of our senses that we really need to develop to really thrive through this next period that we're all going through in life, this next cycle of summer or winter, depending on where you live. And so for this particular recording and for welcoming in the solstice, I thought that the exercise that we would do for the solstice is an exercise that those of you who have taken any online course with me since 2014 has already been working like this. I've really loved in working with group online energy to give people an actual place in non-ordinary reality where they can meet, where they can do spiritual work alone together, where people can pray together. And these places that I've created with guardian spirits, I don't create these spaces on my own. In all my online courses, I work with these amazing guardian spirits who, whatever altar space that we create in the unseen realms, they keep it clean for us. They oftentimes bring in new things, new blessings, new gifts for us to work with. And so it's been such a delight to work with them, as well as our own helping spirits, as well as all the beings in nature. And so for all the courses I've been teaching, and I've been teaching this in my teacher training too, you can give a group that is either meeting physically or meeting online, where there's long periods between the sessions. You can give people a sacred, holy space where they can go and pray alone, do ceremony alone, and you'll run into people like myself. I'm always in these altar rooms doing work for the group and for myself. So you'll run into other group members, but it's a great way to work for yourself too. And so in my journeys and working with Isis and talking to the guardian spirits, we decided, because I've created with the spirits so many altar rooms, we've decided that the altar room that would be a blessing for this global community that reads the Transmutation News is an altar out in the middle of the forest in a yurt, in a beautiful round yurt. In a really gorgeous forest. And there are going to be different stations, is such an unromantic word, but places in this special place where you can come and do holy, sacred, shamanic work whenever you want. And so at this place, there's the river of life, and you can jump in the river of life and swim in it and let go of some of your pain. You can just be with the river of life and emanate love and connect with the river of life, which is always a treat. there's a fire pit, and there's a guardian spirit there who's always keeping the fire going. These guardian spirits, they're so kind. They don't really look human, but they're so kind. They don't really speak, but you feel them with your heart. And there's a guardian spirit at the fire pit, and there are talismans. For those of you not familiar with talismans, it's where you can take a stick of wood and wrap some yarn or some decoration around them, and where you can blow in your intention of what you would like to give to the fire. There's a prayer tree, where, as you know, I've been writing about prayer trees in my last few books. And there's a prayer tree where you can leave your prayers to be taken up to the creative forces of the universe. And of course, we always have air where we can blow our bubbles, or we can blow what we need to let go of, or our love into the collective, singing our love into the collective, letting the air work with us. And then the other thing that's going to be in the altar, and I'm going to take you there. This is all going to be guided. I'm just giving you kind of the roadmap. There's the cauldron of light, and one of our recordings was on the cauldron of light, where the cauldron of light is something that was created, and you can listen to the recording, or you can look at the cauldron of light and walking in light. It was created for people to write letters to the creative forces of the universe and tell them what they want and tell them how they feel. And there's an altar cloth with candles. I'll be sharing all of that with you. And on our altar is also a crystal, a big crystal earth. And so when you do your transfiguration work, and if you choose to come to the altar space during the creating a human web of light, this is an amazing place in the unseen realms, supported by the holy ones who are adding to your power of being able to shine your light and to radiate it through within and throughout this great earth. So I hope that you can feel the richness of this special place that we're going to walk through together, so that we can get a tour. And I'd like to invite those of you who would like to drum and rattle with me to do that. And I'd like to invite those of you who would like to sing and dance with me to do that. So I'm just going to take a drink of water. And so we're going to start from our house, and I'm going to take you up a path. Like I said, any of you who have done online work with me have done this journey, this ceremony with me before, but now we're creating a new altar space for everybody who's in our group who reads the Transmutation News. And again, I'd love to encourage you to sign up for the Facebook page, Shamans are Gardeners of Energy, because it's so inspirational. I love to go there. It's been a real gift. It's been a real blessing in my life, and I know a blessing to others. So I'm just going to get my rattles, and if you have a drum or rattle to get, this would be a good time. And I'll just start by calling in the spirits a little bit. We want to use a decree, all of us together, going down into our hearts and welcoming the spirits who will be working with us as we visit an altar room that's so sacred and holy. All kinds of healing, powerful ceremonies can go on here, creating deep changes in the web of life, beneficial changes for all of us. Okay, so I'll pick up my drum and just imagine yourself sitting in the room that you're in right now. Look around you at your space that you're in. This space is your home. And in shamanism, our homes are sacred. Our homes are holy. Look around the room that you're working in right now and ask yourself, when was the last time that you cleansed this room spiritually? Have you been adding things that you love? How does it feel to be there now as we get ready to greet the powerful solstice And it's always so important to understand that in the time of change, when we talk about the solstice, we also talk about a connection with the moon. Because at any potent time like the solstice, it's the male energy coming together with the female energy to producing something new, a seed, a new thought, a new dream, a new project. We have to have those forces that come together to help us birth the new into the world. And so we also want to find a sacred and holy space where we can do our spiritual work in the unseen realms. And today I'm going to take you to such a place. And so imagine yourself being part of the circle. I don't know when you entered into reading the Transmutation News and joining in our ceremonies of creating a human web of light. But we have been creating a loving circle since 2000, a global circle since 2000. We have translators all over the world bringing these teachings, this love, this light, these lessons to those who can't speak English. And we've been nurturing our circle. We've been taking care of our circle. We've been joining our hands together every month to do our sacred, powerful work in behalf of the web of life. And now it's time to find a place in the unseen realms where we can continue our ceremonial work. And so imagine yourself standing up and walking towards the door of your home. And it might just transform into a curtain, into a veil, into a mist, into a fog that you can step into. And you're on a beautiful path of nature, walking, observing, being like the indigenous people around the world who walk a path in nature as if every one of their cells has eyes. They're absorbing, taking in. Do this for yourself. Take in the bright, vibrant colors, the sounds, the smells, the taste. Feel your feet blessing the earth with each step. Feel your breath blessing the earth as you breathe out so much love and you emanate light through your heart. And there's a song that I'd like for us to sing together. Many of you know it. Just join in when you have it. Mother, I feel you under my feet. Mother, I feel your heartbeat. Mother, I feel you under my feet. Mother, I feel your heartbeat. Hey, 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 feel your heartbeat. Mother, I feel you under my feet. Mother, I feel your heartbeat. Hey, 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 oh. 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 Hey. So we come to the guardian spirits who are waiting to greet us at this amazing yurt right in the middle of the woods. There's a giant tree right behind us. It seems like it's the tree of life. That we've come to a holy area that connects all the worlds together. This is a good place for us to do our work. So we'll start by entering into the yurt and let the guardian spirits cleanse you. They might use incense. They might touch you. They might sing to you. They might bless you in some way. But they will let you enter when you're a strong link, when you're spiritually cleansed, and when you're a strong link and have something to really give to the circle, to make sure that our prayers are strong enough and coherent enough to get to the creative forces of the universe. And we come in and we circle around in the yurt. And you'll notice there's a beautiful altar cloth of all kinds of shimmering colors. Gold, magentas, silver, platinum, different shades of green and blue. So many of the colors seem unearthly, but they're part of the beauty and the magic of the earth that's still hidden from us. There's still so much beauty to discover in our journeys into the unseen realms. And there are candles of all colors on the altar, and bowls with sacred herbs, and prayer bowls where you can leave offerings, and prayer bowls where you can also put in prayers for yourselves and loved ones that you have permission from. And you can bring gifts to the altar, whatever feels right, flowers, more candles, things from your own altar, rocks, stones, leaves. This is our altar that will remain. So you can work here as long as you want, for years to come. And let's stand around the altar and let's just hold hands and look into each other's eyes for a few minutes. We have so much love for the earth, and that means having kindness and love for each other and showing that. So this is a beautiful place where we can come to work where there's incense and beauty and flowers and offerings and gifts and places for prayers and bowls of thanks. And now let's walk out of our yurt that we can return to at any time. And before you leave, take a look at our giant crystal earth. What a place to do creating a human web of life. And so now we leave this room and we go out. The guardian spirits are still there with us. And we walk towards the giant tree, the tree of life, that seems like it's showing us the depth of the space that it's holding. And we come to the river of life. It's flowing in perfection. It's teaching us about our perfection and how we can change our flow so that we're in balance and harmony and not harming ourselves. If you want, you can jump in and take a swim while we're here and just wash off the dust, the spiritual dust, the mental dust, the physical dust. What do you need to release? And just feel yourself floating in the cool waters for a while, guided by the water, the air, and the sun. And this is a place that we can come back to, but for now, we get out and we walk over to the fire pit where there's a guardian spirit showing us all the different talismans and paper and colored pens where we could sit and draw and make sacred art to give to the fire. Fire is known to transmute all negativity, so we can give to the fire that which we need to release, that which acts like an anchor on our neck. We can also give to the fire our prayers of something we wish to manifest, a new dream, some healing, prayers for others, prayers for the earth. And we turn away from the fire as we bow to it until it will be back. And we walk towards a glorious juniper prayer tree with lots of yarn. And that yarn can be used to cut a piece and blow in a prayer for yourself or someone else and tie it very loosely on a branch so that the branches can continue to grow. And you'll notice at the base of the tree that there's a bowl of blue cornmeal that you can leave a little offering to this tree in thanks for working with you. Just like with the fire, there are offerings of cedar by the fire that you can give to the fire and say thank you. And let's not forget the air And let's just throw our arms up to the sky and welcome the wind into our lives. The wind that can blow away our pains. The winds that could whisper messages of inspiration. The winds that help to carry us forward. And then there's the cauldron of light, a place where you can write letters to the creator of the universe, to share what's in your heart. So as you can see, this altar space, this holy space, this sacred space, that's ours and guarded by the guardian spirits. We can do so much powerful work here. You can come here every day to pray. You can come here once a week, once a month. You'll meet others here too, all doing sacred work together. And we'll visit the altar together during some of our ceremonies. For now, I'd like to gather us all together and ask us to walk up to the tree of life, to the tree of life that's holding the space between the lower, middle, and upper worlds. But feel the roots under the earth. It's holding the energy of life. It's amazing. And notice that there's a portal through this tree trunk. And I ask you to step through that portal where you're going to come into a very different dimension of nature. We all step through. And as you step through, notice that there's a very different quality of light here. It's a light, it's a frequency, it's a vibration that you haven't seen before or experienced before. It's a radiance that's beyond a radiance that our eyes perceive in our ordinary world, but our non-ordinary eyes can perceive the power of this light. This light is surrounding us. Take it in, absorb it. It's trying to make a connection with you. Allow yourself to let it in, soak it into all your cells. And now let's join together as a circle in this glorious light, emanating our love and our light throughout this great earth on the solstice, welcoming in a change of cycles, welcoming in a new joining of the feminine and the masculine to create new life on this great planet Earth. New projects for us. New seeds are being planted, for we are the gardeners of energy, because that's what shamans do. And what you give, what you plant and what you give energy to, you give life to. So we take in this light and we give thanks. And now it's time to leave this incredible space. So we walk back through the portal. And We stand in front of this majestic, remarkable tree, and we just take a moment to honor it as we honor the earth, the sky, the stars, the moon, the sun, the waters, the wind. We honor all the elements and everything that's alive. And we start to say goodbye to each other. We can see the yurt in the distance. And we pass the yurt. We wave to the guardian spirits. We pass the river of life, and we start to walk our path back home again, singing the song that brought us to this place of power and beauty. Mother, I feel you under my feet. Mother, I feel your heartbeat. Mother, I feel you under my feet. Mother, I feel your heartbeat. Hey, 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 yo. 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 So we come back to the doorway of our house or apartment. We feel renewed, regenerated. We feel like we have good support from our circle and from the unseen realms. We enter back into our apartment. We place our hands on our heart, and we feel our energy grounding deep into the earth. Think of the tree of life. Those roots are so deep, they're so strong. How deep are your roots? How strong are your roots? Send them deeper into the earth so that you feel your connection back here. Because the earth is your place of belonging, and you are home to welcome in the solstice with this ceremony, with your community, and in your own way. So I'll just do my fairy bells to welcome everybody back. So just close your eyes and let the magic of the fairies welcome you back home. So welcome back, everybody. You now have a sacred altar, a sacred space to do your work and to join with other members of this amazing circle. And we're not going to do a formal altar journey of creating another space again. The space has been created, but we will be doing different ceremonies at our altar space together over time. For myself, I know that you're aware that I've been working really hard, and I haven't taken time off in a year. And so I'm actually going to do the best I can. I'm going to try to take July and August off. And I'd really like to introduce you to some of the amazing teachers that we have on shamanicteachers.com. And they have some ceremonies and exercises that they would love to lead. It's different work than mine, and it will give you new tools, new inspiration. So for July and August, there will be guest teachers doing a video or an audio recording, depending on what's more comfortable for them. And I will be back to welcome in my favorite season in the Northern Hemisphere, which is fall. So I wish everybody the most beautiful solstice. And remember that this is a time where the seed that comes from the sun and the moon can create newness into your life. So, as a shaman who is a gardener of energy, what do you want to plant on this solstice? And go to the altar space, do some work there, bathe yourself in some of the light, and notice how you have more power, more preparation to do your ceremonial work so that your manifestation of what you desire and what needs healing is stronger. So I wish everybody a beautiful solstice, and I love you. Blessings.